I am about to take this brand new $1,060 850 conical wing. I'm gonna take it and might do something stupid with it, but I'll let you know why. It's gonna hurt. So here's the reason for my madness. Just let you know ahead of time. If you want to know what happened, just go to the end and you're going to see what happened. But if you find yourself in the same situation as me, you might relate to this. So be patient. If you want to hear, go ahead. If not, that's fine. So anyhow, here's the reason why. I love this wing. It has a great glide. The 850 conical is great wing for surfing and so forth. But I'm starting to get used to it. It's been about a month now. I'm starting to get used to it, the glide and so forth. It is a stable wing. However, depending on what type of riding you like, I like to go very fast and I love to carve. This, when you carve, it's okay, but for the reason that's a high aspect like this, you still feel this motion. So if you're going this way, it's fine. Nice glide. But if you go sideways, sometimes, especially if you breach the tip, you're gonna go for wipe out. And of course, the more you're not gonna go for wipe out. I forgot his name. Oh my, no, I think it's Kevin. I forgot his name. Curly hair. Forgot your name, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna stop right now. But he can actually bridge this and go make a 360, a 380, a 360, all bridging the wing. Listen, I'm an old dog. I'm 55 years old. I don't want to learn a new trick. I want to feel comfortable when I'm riding. So that's why I love this wing. However, I think it still needs a little bite. And that's why I love this wing. Old school 800 flyer. Why? Okay, it's old school. As you can see how thick the core is. This old school inhedral shape, which is bending down. But what makes this wing so good is those little tips over here. These winglets. These winglets, no matter how fast you're going, if you throw it, it tracks like you're on a rail. It doesn't move. So it doesn't matter how much you throw, it's not going to skate from you. It's not going to slide from you. That's why I love this wing so much. And it's not the same thing with this. This is stable. You throw it, but still, look at this. You still have this cutting motion, which, I want to feel comfortable with this. I want to have something that's going to be between this and this. Unfortunately, of course, Fliteboard is not going to go that way. They're not going to make wings that's going to be more, whatever. So for the fact that I like, once again, depending on style of riding, I like to go fast. I like to carve, but feel secure while I'm doing. I'm going to take this wing over here and basically make a little cut in the end, bend the tip, and make little tiny winglets. All right? That's what this video is all about. However, I'm not going to stop there. I got to do the same thing with the stabilizer. So this is 290 stabilizer, which is the opposite wing tip on the front. Of course, downward, this one is up. That's why the setup with the 800 with the 290 is so tracky. It gives so much bite when you're turning. You have no concerns. Even if you hit something, while you're turning, nothing happens because it tracks so well. So that's what I'm gonna do with this too. This is 290, the 245. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the 245, but I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna actually just add a little tip winglet on the edge because it's such a small wing as it is, and I definitely wanna cut it and bend it. I'm basically gonna add little winglet over here and see what happens. That's it, man. And I hope it works out. Otherwise, I'm gonna have some very expensive mistake in my hands. All right, let's go to it. So here's the first part of the puzzle to make sure there's gonna be symmetrical on both sides. So what I did, I make sure that the wing's flat against the table, both ends. They run out in line, parallel to the table. This tip over here, and then I'm going 1.5 centimeters from the tip of the wing, 1.5 centimeters, no, sorry, right there. That goes from the tip of the wing to where I'm gonna be the cut. And also, this thing over here has to be parallel with the table or the end of the wing, of course. So this is it. and to make the cut nice and straight. So you can see the measures parallel to that line right here, which then the table makes square. So, and that gives me the angle of the cut to bend. So that's the angle right there, and you just gotta basically now match the same thing on the other side. So that's it. I think it'll be okay for now. So this is the point of no return. I gotta cut this for here, but of course not gonna cut all the way through. I'm just gonna kind of cut the surface so I can bend the wing and still use the other side of the carbon fiber to reinforce it. So I'm gonna have to have like precision hands over here with the doctor. So let me turn this off and I'll show it to you guys later. Good news. Good news and bad news. The good news is that the whole thing of it is very solid, so it's not to the core, it's just part pure carbon fiber. The bad news is that I cut through it. So my goal was try to bend this over, which is so solid over here, there's no way you're gonna bend this over because I thought it was gonna be a line over here. So it's not the case. But the good thing is that I lost this, hold on a second. So you still can save the wing by shaving it, but that's not the case. What I'm gonna do now, this is a flat angle right now. This is about 45-degree angle, and I'm basically gonna carbon fiber this that way, which will give me exactly what I want. So that's not bad. It's still manageable to be saved. And I just basically gonna put this together now and do carbon fiber here. That's all I need. I just need this much of bite on the tip of the wing of the winglets. So basically I have to now reproduce the same thing on the other side. So it's not that bad. If you look at it, this will be the angle of the wing. Oh, hold on, there you go. That's all I need. So it's a long way to go, but that's what it's gonna be like. And if I can hold that, it would be great. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Oh man. But the good thing is that if it doesn't work, I'll just chop it again and round it up, and I only lose about what, 1.5 centimeters of winglet. No big deal. And those are the two winglets up there. If you ask me, they look pretty symmetrical, but you see, they're not perfect. You see that this one over here, that's the right side, is a little bit more rounder than the left one. I cut the same distance, but you can tell that even the manufacturers, look at how this is a little bit fat over here, and this one is not on the end, Those manufactured, whatever it is. But I'm gonna put them in the end now and start working on carbon fiber this whole thing together. So far, so good, man. I'm not disappointed yet. Because worst case scenario, as I said, I can always round up this, round up that, and go back to business. That's all. So here you have a quick preview and how it's gonna look like. So I just super glue the end of it right now. Of course, gonna fill up all those gaps with carbon fiber, filament, and everything else, but that's the angle they're gonna have. Oop, that's one side. Oh, there you go. That's one side. I have filled up all those things up, and that's the other side. I'm gonna fill up all those angles and put carbon fiber all over to cover up the whole thing. So that's how it looks like right now. It's not bad, and the angle exactly the same the other side. I was really particular about the angles to make sure they're the same. Oh, sorry. Come on. There we go. And guess what? Put this over here. You can see it. Oh, there you go. Probably can see it from better. From here, boom, and boom. But here's the deal. Here's the winglets as well. And of course, all those square angles over there are gonna make it nice and smooth. So this is the preview. Hey, I'm not complaining, man. The angles I think came out right. And it's just a matter of putting carbon fiber on both of them now and wait and shape them, send them into shape. But that's the 240, the conical wing modification. All right, halfway done. Here now is the plan of attack. I sand down the edges of it, of all of them. So the resin will do both sides, of course. And I isolate over here so I don't get messy with the resin down here. I just want to clear from that point on. Same thing, all four corners. But here's the thing that you gotta be concerned about. So this first will be 3 layers. The first one's gonna be right here. The second one right there. And the third one's gonna be on the top of it all. So everything's cut up and measured to that. So it's the same thing, all four corners. So today I'm only gonna do the top of it. No, I'm sorry, the bottom of it. So one, and you gotta really be careful. See right there, it's coming apart. So this will make the joints super strong. All right, I hope you understand. So 3 layers, small to medium to up to cover the whole thing. Only one side today from the inside curve, and then tomorrow I'll do the outside curve. So right now I'm doing the inner intake bent, and tomorrow I'll do the outside. All right, wish me luck. By the way, so you know it, I'm using 1-to-1 ratio from epoxy resin to curing. So this is much more effective. So it's half 1-to-1 ratio, which is much easier to mix with. I'm curious to see how this looks like. So I rolled, when it was kind of getting harder, I just put this tape around so I can press the edges to make sure that's gonna take the shape of the wing. And time for the truth. See how it looks like. It's so scary, I don't wanna, I haven't see right now. Okay. Yes, sweet, man. All right. Hold on a second. Let me stop and show you. So this how it looks like, and I like it. Of course, I'm gonna have to sand it down, just this top part of it. But I like the angle right there, that's one side. Of course, gonna go now, cut everything in the back over here, flatten out, and put 1 layer only on the back. But this is one side. Of course, I have to, this is rough side of it now. Look at the other side, it's even better. I have to still cut this whole thing and make it nice and round. But look at the profile right there. Of course, gonna cut all this. But I like it, man. So far, so good. So, okay, I'm not gonna bother with showing more steps anymore. I'm just gonna go show you the finished product. All right, let me finish this stuff. This is how the other side looks. You just gotta cut around and sand it down. It's gonna be the worst part of it, which is make sure that it's gonna be nice and flush against the wing. That'll be the worst part. It's gonna take a while now. I am so stoked because the thing's actually coming back. I had to stop right in the middle to show you. I'm getting so stoked. If you're gonna do this, make sure you having some type of protection, because the powder, the carbon fiber powder, is very bad for you, and the wind is blowing downwind, so it's not coming to my face. But I'm using 80 grit first to rough take the part. Then I'm gonna go down to 150, and then finally for 500. But guys, look at this, man. It's so smooth. The transition here is so smooth. Look at that. It's not the final product yet, but I'm stoked because it's getting so well done. I thought it was going to be bad, but it's not. You know, you can see the difference between one carbon to the other right there, but I can run my finger through it and there's no elevation. And I just started the 80 grit right now, which takes the rough stuff, but it's still gonna make super smoother. So we're starting with 80 grit, then 150, and then 300 with water, which is gonna make this super smooth. But I'm stoked so far, man. This is not bad at all. And check this out. Already got, look at this. This is a tab. And look how, you know, as I said, this is just the rough part. You know, this is the rough grid. And then once I get the smooth one, it's gonna be awesome. So I got excited, I gotta show it. I'm gonna show the final product pretty soon. And here we have it, guys. The only 850 conical flyer hybrid wing on the market. I'm actually proud, dude. Look at this. You can see what the width starts and ends. You can see right there. You can see this craft over here. I'm not gonna paint. I was thinking about painting it, make the tips white, like a white shark tip. But I don't want to, because I actually want people to see where one cloth meets the other and how smooth it is. I wish you could be here. And look at the angle of that thing, dude. Not too shabby. Look at that. Just like the flyer. And it's just 1.5 centimeter. It's smaller than the flyer. And this is the stab. Look at the stab. Just enough, dude. Not too much. A little bit less than the regular stab for the flyer. And look how smooth that thing is, guys. I'm stoked, because actually I'm very proud of myself. Look at this thing, man. Look at that. Well, it doesn't matter if it looks good, if doesn't feels good. So I'm gonna put this baby to the water right now to the test and see if those little things over there make a difference. So as I mentioned before, this tip was like this, right? But not only that, here's the deal about this thing too. Remember this tip over here? Dude, for me it's like a knife. You know, it's like a knife. If you go with a lot of power into it, you know, I don't know. I don't want to be think about it. But for the fact that it's rounded like that, it makes even safe, you know. So let's put this in the water right now and put to the test. I'm stoked, but I just hope I have not ruined the 850. So here it is, the 850 conical flyer hybrid. I think it's the only one in the world. Let's put this in the water.
I've been around riding for about 5-10 minutes now, and I'm telling you this thing is super fun. Now, I'm gliding exactly the same way as before, no doubt. Same performance, same of gliding, and then I'm running the battery to see if it's gonna be the same thing, same way. It's gonna be the same performance in terms of battery wise. But the glide is the same. But one thing, it's just giving enough bite. I mean, as I mentioned before, I find to have the 245 and the 850 too loose. Let me turn around right now, because I'm downwind right now. It's so tracky, and here's the beauty of it. Now, before, as I said, when I make a carving turn, I would feel the board like skipping, but right now I can just throw it and the thing just goes, man. Tracks like on the rail, on the train rail. You feel so much more, not stable, but tracky. I'm at 25 miles an hour. 26, whoops. I'm at 26 miles an hour. Once you throw it, the thing bites like there's no tomorrow. I love this thing.
Just right out of the water right now, guys, and gonna give my final thoughts about this wing. There you go. That's the Frankenstein, you know, the A50 conical slash flyer wing. That's how it looks like. So hang in there. I'm gonna give my final thoughts and give you the pros and cons. I don't think there's any cons about this at all. So hang in there. You're gonna tell more details about this little baby. I'm so stoked. All right, just getting out of the water right now. So yeah, I know some of you guys might be saying that is so stupid, man. You cut the perfect wing and do something else, whatever. Here's the deal. I'm an old dog, man. I'm 55 years old. I mean, I've been riding the flyer now for like over 4 years, and I'm into going fast and carving. I always like that. And for some reason, the Flow series, all those wings was just too loose for me. I'm not into surfing. I mean, I'm gonna try that one day, get into it. But I just felt them always to be too loose, especially for the way that I like riding. I like to go very fast, an average 25, 26, sometimes occasional 30 miles an hour, and go carving. And those wings always felt a little bit too sensitive, especially when you're turning, when you're banking. You have the bank and the board still can move up and down, left and right. I didn't like that. And the good thing about the flyer was that, because when you throw on the side, that thing was just on the rail. So exactly what's going on with this wing now, the A50 now, with just a little tip. And as I said, was only 1.5 centimeters that I bent at 45-degree angle on each side. And I still have the glide, the performance, because it's exactly the same amount of time. It was about 40 minutes, riding exactly the same way, and throwing, carving. So glide is the same, performance is the same. However, once you throw that thing on the side, it hugs like like on a rail, and that's what I wanted. And it was just enough. I didn't go that aggressive to make the wing to feel too stiff like the flyer, because once you step off from the A50, normal A50, and step into the flyer, it's a truck. It's like stepping from the 100 and stepping into a 1300 big huge wing. It feels super heavy. So when you get used to the A50 and you step onto a 100 flyer, it feels like a truck. But once I did that, it feels exactly the same like the A50 cone. I still have the looseness, the glide, but when I bank and I carve, it just gave me enough bite to feel more predictable. And that's what I wanted. On top of that, guys, I don't know, but look at the A50, you know? That thing's a stab, just like the 1100 Flow. It's a stabbing knife, nothing against it. Because those wings, when you surf, you're not going as fast. So when you're going really fast, you know, the impact's gonna be bigger. So I'm just glad that now I have a extremely 200% safe wing. Not saying that the other wings are not safe. They are safe, but depends on your style of riding. So now I have just the great of both worlds, which is the glide of the A50 provides, the maneuverability, but also I just got enough track from the 800 flyer that just gives much more confidence. That's all I have for you guys. I'm sorry for taking too long. I hope you dig this video. I'm actually gonna make a video pretty soon about quick takeoffs or racing takeoffs. I see some of the races out there. I don't know why they haven't made a video yet about how quick they take off and get on foil. But I've been seeing some videos, watching some videos, and I'm starting to get a hang of it. But that'll be the next video. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.